Right now, crowds of supporters already gathering outside Bojangles Coliseum ahead of former President Donald Trump's rally here in the Queen City tonight. It will be his first public appearance since President Biden dropped out of the race earlier this week.
We have team coverage of today's event. Chris is standing by to break down how it could affect your commute. But first, we go live to WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane at Bojangles Coliseum to preview the action. People already lining up behind you, Richard.
Absolutely correct. Actually, people have moved from across the street because they don't want folks to overflow the crowd to get in the way of traffic. So they moved them across the street right here. There's a tunnel that leads to Bojangles Coliseum. That's where these folks will start coming in a little bit. They've been in line all morning because this is the first time they'll get to hear Donald Trump speak since he's formally accepted that nomination for the Republican ticket. I'm joined by someone who is more than happy to be here today. Miss White, first of all, thank you for being here. You're from our area, right?
Yeah, I'm from up by Newland, by Boone, North Carolina, yeah. Yep.
And just how many of these rallies have you been to?
This is number 35.
Number 35. And one of the things we were discussing just a few moments ago is that some people might recognize her because 11 days ago you were in Butler.
I was in Butler, yeah. I traveled from North Carolina up to Butler. Got up there, got in a really good spot, was right behind President Trump when he went to go speak. So when the shot that everybody heard around the world came, I was right there.
And I've seen you in those videos and those stills of it. Just from 11 days ago to today, how important is it for you to again be here to support Donald Trump?
It's very important. It's very important. I actually got to go to the RNC. I got to be behind him on the night he spoke. And then I also went to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then I came here. So went to my home state where I grew up, and then came back to North Carolina where I belong.
And just the support that you've seen out here from all these folks can you describe that to folks?
Oh, the patriotism and everything that we have that goes on here is like, if you've never been to it, it's like the best rock concert you've ever been to in your entire life. We get to exchange stories. We get to tell things about how the economy and everything's working for us and what we feel and what we believe in Trump. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I thank you so much. And I know she's been giving me updates and everything, telling me to turn off my lights a little bit early because they were in people's eyes. So she's going to be in there. She told me that she'll be here. They're going to open up the gates and let these folks start going in a little bit. Of course, everyone's waiting for 6 o'clock when he speaks. Of course, we'll have complete updates throughout the day. But for now, right outside of Bojangles Arena with the crowd waiting to see Donald Trump later today, we'll send it back to you.
And you can let her know that you can safely turn off your lights here in just about 5 seconds. Richard, thank you for that. And by the way, if you're not going to the rally, they're still going to impact thousands of people because, Chris, he's coming right during the evening rush.
Yeah, and if you've ever driven Independence at that time, whew, it is slow traffic, especially heading from uptown at that hour. So, upcoming delays. This seems very vague, but it's for security purposes. Between noon and 10 p.m. around Bojangles Coliseum. We mentioned that time, 6 o'clock. So it's going to be very active leading up to that point. So if you can find any workaround, I definitely would, because it's going to be extremely slow traffic on Independence Boulevard. Also Monroe Road. That's usually one of the get-arounds. Not really the case there, but also to mention the airport, because we don't know the times that he's really going to be actively arriving or leaving. They're saying airport delays anytime between about 4 o'clock and 8:30 p.m. So keep that in mind for your Wednesday, not just afternoon, but evening commute as well.